Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. So, of course, we have some updates in relation to the Epstein files. We do have updates. However, what we know more than anything is this. I'll tell you guys this. You're never going to see those files. And if you see them, they're going to be heavily redacted. But because again, I always have to say, you got to wonder about, Trump is going to do anything to save himself. Hey, 305, good morning. Good morning to you, Kiera. Good morning. Trump's going to do any and everything to avoid this coming out. Now, did you all see Pam Bondi's news conference yesterday? Hey, dude, good morning. Hey, Abby. Did y'all see our press conference yesterday? They're not, I want to brace folks. They're not going to release unredacted files, right? They're trying to hide behind the victims and all this other stuff, even though the victims and their families are saying release everything. We want to see it all. Understand, this was never about being honest and transparent about anything. This was always about, when Trump was touting, he's going to release the Epstein files, when he was on his campaign trail, it was just another thing to say, right? It was literally just another thing to say to get votes. Now he wants you to shut up about it, and y'all keep talking about it. So that's where Trump's irritation sets in, because it was just another piece of bullshit that he was shoveling. And his mindset is, well, if you believed all the other shit that I said, why all of a sudden when it comes to this, it's a problem? Again, this is why you don't believe people in their mess. Let me stop for a second. Good morning to you all. I appreciate you being here. Happy Thursday. We're almost at the end of the week. We're almost there, y'all. We're almost there. Now, don't forget tomorrow, right? Don't forget about tomorrow. Tomorrow evening, we are discussing the movie The Perfect Neighbor. I will put up the information we're going to do it on a Zoom. It's affiliated with my Patreon, but we're going to do it in a Zoom so that we can have that full conversation and not have to worry about filtering our conversation on TikTok, because there's certain words you can't use on TikTok. This type of movie, no, you got to have the real, full, honest, transparent discussion to really get anywhere. So check out my Patreon. I'll put up the information about the Zoom today. The discussion is tomorrow, November 21st at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to talk about the movie The Perfect Neighbor. Then we're having a watch party for the movie The Three Extremes. That's on November 25th at 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then on November 29th, we're discussing the movie Tenet. Now, Tenet we'll discuss on TikTok. Okay? So, because that, I think that we won't have to worry about any triggers or anything for the system. So we'll discuss that on TikTok, and that's on November 29th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So come on through and join us. Click the link in my profile to check out all the places that I'm located. Also, don't forget, tapping that like button, tapping is clapping. I appreciate that this morning. That'll help out a lot. And if you could hit that copy link button. Copy link counts as a share. You don't have to send it to anybody, but copying the link tells TikTok that it's a live that's worth them boosting a little bit. So good morning to you all. And don't forget about bread making Saturdays. I will be online Saturday morning. We are making jalapeno cornbread and we're making yellow chocolate cake, right? We're making yellow cake with chocolate homemade buttercream ice. That's what we're doing on Saturday. Then on Sunday, I'm going to get on and show how you take that jalapeno cornbread and make stuffing with it, especially with Thanksgiving being next week. And I'll put the ingredients list up also on Patreon today. So check it out. I love you guys. Now let's continue on with this discussion about what's going on with these Epstein files, what's happening and what's not happening. So Pam Bondi did a news conference yesterday. And essentially she made very clear that the unredacted files will not be released, that all of the files will also not be released, And it's because of ongoing investigations. And when the media asked her, well, the investigation was closed before and now it's opened again. Well, what caused that? She said new information. She wasn't even convincing in how she was lying about it, but she was like, new information, new information. And they was like, well, what new information? And she was like, new information. Okay. All right. You're not going to get those files, beloved. And if you do get them, if you do get the files, they're going to be full of fucking redactions. Okay? Because quiet is kept with the Republican Party. They protect predators. So let me make sure this is big enough so y'all can see what's going to happen with them files. Old line ass Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi is another one. If she's talking, she's lying. Yep, she's another one. If she's talking, she's lying. And understand, MAGA, they seem to have no problem with this. Because again, MAGA doesn't protect children. They don't care about children. MAGA cares about fetuses. You got a fetus in your body? Oh, they gonna be on your ass like a supervisor. A baby? They gonna be like, man, shut up and get the fuck out of here. Why are you talking to me about your children? I don't care about that. I'm letting y'all know. I'm letting y'all know. Y'all should see the thirsty ass men with the dirty necks that are in here. They're so upset. Trump signed it yesterday. He signed it yesterday. Trump is a predator. And anybody that backs this shit who don't want all the information out there, they're also predators. I'm not apologizing for it. I'm not going to tap dance around it and make y'all feel comfortable. I'm not going to do any of that because we're talking about children here, right? And I care about children the way Republicans care about fetuses. You know how Republicans are always worried about fetuses all the time. What about the little fetus? What about the little fetus? Well, that's how I feel about children, actual living, breathing human beings. You know, that's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it. That's exactly how I feel about it. I love kids. Yeah, they're not pro-life, they're pro-birth. I remind people of that. The Republican Party is a pro-birth party. They're not a pro-life party. Those are two different things. This party also believes in capital punishment. Then you can't be pro-life. They're not pro-life. They're pro-birth. That you must have that baby by any means necessary. And then once you have it, don't you dare ask us for nothing to feed that fucking baby or take care of it because you shouldn't have had a baby. See? They'll vilify you for having it and they'll vilify you if you don't. Uh-oh, I didn't mean to move that. I was trying to read something. And somebody said, yeah, Trump did sign it because he really didn't have a choice. He could have not signed it, but it was super majority. It's not like he could have vetoed it. There's nothing he could do. A scream Christian, but yeah, they're not Christians though. They fake ass Christians. They Christian cosplay. They cosplay as Christians. Why can't the victims just tell us who assaulted them? Did they sign something? Nobody listens to them, Alicia. Nobody listens. They have. The victims have been talking for years. They've been talking, writing books, doing it. Nobody's listening. See, Americans got to take ownership in that. Americans don't fucking care. They don't care. And that's the truth. You know, I was sitting yesterday and I was talking with somebody because y'all know I'm running for a local congressional seat. And I was talking with a friend of mine and I said, you know what my biggest fear is? He said, what? I said, people don't listen to politicians. I actually have more leverage and influence not being in government than I do being in it. As soon as I become an elected official, nobody's listening. It's like, we ain't listening to that shit. She's one of them. She's in the machine. She's a part of the system. That stuff I think about too. Because Americans don't listen to elected officials. They listen to the ones that lie to them. But elected officials that tell them the truth, they don't listen. They don't listen to victims that tell the truth. They listen to podcasters. That's just the truth. That's how America is set up. It listens to podcasters, bloggers, shit like that. They don't listen to elected officials, people that are supposed to have some level of credibility. No. Y'all folks would rather listen to Theo Vaughn. Okay. I literally had a discussion about that yesterday. I said, man, I tell you, that's my fear in this. Because while people listen, because I'm not in government now, I get in there, oh, you just a part of the machine. You're just a piece of the swamp. We're not going to listen to you. So then what is the incentive for people to get into government to change anything if you're going to shut your ears off as soon as the people that you like before they got in there tell you shit that make you feel uncomfortable before when they told you it was cool. But when they're in a position of authority, all of a sudden it ain't cool no more. Right. Exactly, Sanopa. The assumption is that I'm going to change and be corrupt and complicit with everybody else. Okay, but then you're not going to change the system. You know what I mean? But see, Shay, that's the struggle that I'm having in all of this. As I'm doing this, I go, the same people who tell me to run for office are the same people who will no longer listen to me if I'm in office. So imagine somebody, I don't have money. I don't have fuck you money, right? I don't have fuck you money to just run for office and not give a shit what anybody thinks. Cause hey, I got fuck you money. It don't really matter. That's not my reality. I'm a working class person with no job, with no formal job, mind you. I work for myself since government took my job, right? So yeah, that's what I struggle with, Ty. May not change much, but the voice matters. But the question is, does the voice matter when you know they work in government? I challenge the American people on that because I say, no, it doesn't. As soon as your elected official is saying shit you don't like or makes you uncomfortable, you shut your ears off. A podcaster says the same thing. Y'all like this. You got to ask yourself, why is that? I get that you don't trust the machine that is your government, but you created that. You created that system. So you don't like a system that you helped create. What you going to do to change it? I keep asking that same question. People don't like the system. What are they going to do to change it? You say it depends on how engaged they are. Problem is most Americans ain't engaged in politics, Kiera. They're not engaged until the shit shows up on their doorstep and they're forced to pay attention. Outside of that, they don't care. Outside of that, they don't care. Hold on. I need to set my phone up to do not disturb because I was getting spam calls. I'm still getting crazy fucking spam calls. I can't speak for y'all. You said I wasn't before 2024, not locally volunteering. Yeah, people got to make it there. See, I'm torn. I'm torn between being in office, or running for office, or supporting all of the great candidates that need to be in office and making sure they get elected all across a fucking America. Because you need more than one or two lonely changes. You need a series and a sea of liberals that you're sending into local offices all across America. You're not going to change it otherwise. I'm telling you, that's how Republicans got this power that they got. Changing it one local election at a time. You're not going to get it by just changing presidents. That's not enough. You have to change everything, and that takes some time. You say a new poll found 62% believe this is Trump's economy now. I want to know where the fuck them 62% of those people have fucking been. It's been Trump's economy since Trump won, when he sent out all them fucking stimulus checks, kicking off fucking inflation. That's just the truth. When he kicked off fucking inflation, sending out all that money the first time he was president, shit, it's been Trump's economy since fucking then. Where the hell these people been at? Yeah, and you're right, Kiera. Local elections matter more than people realize, but people don't show up to their school board, their chamber of commerce, their mayor, their police chief, the judges. That shit is that I'm telling you, that impacts you more than your president. You said gov is supposed to operate. You're absolutely correct, MGD. See, this is the thing. When government is working well, you don't even notice it. You too busy living your life. You know when you notice your government. You know when you notice it, when they fucking up, when you can't get what you need. That's the only time you really notice it. That's when you don't notice, that's when it's working. I don't understand why people don't get that. I know some of you do, but when your government's working properly, it ain't in your way, right? It ain't in your way. But when your government's not working the way that it should, oh, they all up in your business. Your uterus, your back seat, your refrigerator, your bathroom, your bedroom. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. Your library. Hell, you got your government right now determining what books can be read by a party who says don't tread on me while they treading on every fucking American all across America. I'm like, I don't know what it's going to take for Americans to wake up to that fact. But the don't tread on me party, that was all a ploy and a lie to not have to do the things, to be a part of society like everybody else, to stop knuckle dragging. Because Republican parties have been about the knuckle dragging, keeping the status quo and keeping you poor. Did y'all see my video I put up yesterday about healthcare? I hope people are seeing that video and understand that's why you can't have universal healthcare. It ain't just your government. It's your boss too. It's the people who own your company too, because they get tax breaks from paying for putting money into your healthcare. See, there's a lot of money at play to keep you poor. I've been telling y'all. And until Americans wake up to that, it's not going to change. Just like your grocery bill ain't going to come down either. Even though Trump peeled back those tariffs, your grocery bill ain't going to come down. And Trump going to sit there and blame the free market. But remember, Republicans told you, let the free market decide. See, y'all got to put all the pieces together. Now, somebody asked me, when you think the crash going to happen? I truly believe the crash is already starting to happen, but y'all need to have cash. Real shit. You need to have cash. That's real talk, because cash is king over everything. See, people love to talk about Bitcoin, all this other shit. None of that shit don't mean nothing. You ain't got electricity. You don't have internet and satellites and mobile networks and all this other shit to move money around. That money don't mean nothing. You understand? That digital, people want to sell you on old digital money is the new. Okay, when the shit, when everything drops and when the bottom falls out of the shit, who the fuck is looking at a cell phone going, well, let me get my Bitcoin to get, no, cash. Yeah, I saw that Peter Thiel sold all his NVIDIA stock, but I'm going to tell you why I think he sold it. There's another decision or something coming that he knows that's coming out that's going to benefit him. A lot of what the Trump administration is doing, y'all, is a cash grab. It's just rich people making money. What did I tell you? What happens when you and I are suffering? Rich people shop. Rich people shop. And rich people are shopping. Rich people are shopping. Okay? They're shopping, right? They are shopping. And they're going to keep on shopping until y'all put an end to it. Y'all need to start pressuring these social media companies to get a handle on their fucking bots. The bots, the BOTSs, because that's what rich people pay to indoctrinate you into voting against your own best interest. These platforms, since they tout AI all the time, AI, we got AI. Use AI to get rid of these fucking bot accounts on your social media networks. How about that? How about that? That's what y'all should be asking these social media companies to do. Get rid of these fucking bot farms on their platforms or stop using their platforms. Real talk. Let me tell y'all something. If we're not on their platforms, they don't make money. They don't make money just because they exist. That's the lie they tell you. We're the product. If you're not on a platform like TikTok or Facebook or Instagram, they can't make no money. Who gonna buy ads if ain't no users there? Who? Nobody. You are the product. Your content, what you create, your voice, your comments, your shares, your likes, that is the currency. That's what companies chase, because then they're able to use that and market to other companies and say, look, we got a whole audience here. You can pay us X amount of dollars and da da da. Y'all got to pay attention. Start pressuring these social media companies. Oh yeah, I booted that person very quietly. Yeah, because I already knew what that was. So it was like, okay, well, if you think X, Y, and Z, why are you here? Block. Ain't no need to even say nothing. Y'all know me. This block finger is quick. I don't spend my time going back and forth with people who choose to be in dark places. If you want to be in a dark place, who the fuck am I to come in with a flashlight? Like, stay in darkness. I don't give a shit. Say it again, MGD. If something is free, you are the product. And that's why these social media platforms love you. I said the other day, remember I told y'all, maybe it was yesterday or the day before, I told y'all about this creator, this guy I found out about. He's a photographer out of New York City. And he talked about how Meta got rid of all of his accounts. All of them. Because the AI said he was doing things he wasn't even doing. And you can't even appeal it. He just got rid of all of the stuff, right? For me, I'm going to go back to old school. I'm going to start building up I already have my website, but my website really is just links to tell you what platforms I'm on. I'm going to start blogging on my own website, having videos on my own website, because I'm telling you, these social media companies, they forgot who made them who they are. We did. They won't do shit about the bots. They won't do shit about the troll farms. I'm sick of it. I've had enough. The AI is overly sensitive. It doesn't understand context. But the AI never hits on the bots. It only hits on the real people. Make that shit make sense. So I go, I'm tired of being sick and tired. I remember what it was like to just I've always had my own, did different websites. Ever since we could have our own websites on the internet, I've always done that. But now I want to get more back to that because I see where the tide is going. I see where it's going. I would love to collaborate with Jasmine Crockett, but she don't even know I exist. So that's the issue that I have. I would love to collaborate. Honestly, I would love to work with a lot of Democrats to help them on their fucking messaging and their speaking points and coach them on debates. They're too fucking nice. They're too nice. They need somebody to teach them how to drag fucking people respectfully, right? Professionally, of course. And that's what I would love to do for them because they don't know how to talk to the American people. They don't know how to talk to you. Democrats should be hitting hard right now on affordability and how expensive it is to live. You know what I mean? How expensive it is to live. I get it that they're talking about the Epstein files, but you got to talk about expenses. You got to talk about every time somebody goes to the grocery store, they are choosing between paying a bill at home or putting food on the table at this point. Americans haven't had to make those choices. They're making those choices now. While Americans are trying to figure out how they're going to feed their children and their babies, the president is building a $500 million ballroom. America lost the plot somewhere. They lost the plot. You can't afford to eat and you can't afford medical care because they done priced you out of health insurance too. While health insurance companies make record profits because when it comes to your health and profits, you're always going to be beneath that. But if we had universal health care, you wouldn't have to think like that. Like when I did that video, remember when we were in the live the other day and we researched why healthcare is tied to employment. And we found out it was a carryover from the war. And I did a video about it and I was mad. I said to myself, why has no elected official ever said this to us? Why? They talk about everything under the sun with healthcare, but they won't talk about the reason why we don't have universal healthcare. It's not just the government. It's also because of businesses. Even your own boss or person that owns your company, because they get tax breaks from paying for your insurance. Even though they don't pay all of it, They pay a percentage. They get a huge tax shelter for that shit. Hey, good morning to you, Kim. They get a huge tax shelter for it. So that's why they don't have no incentive for a marketplace. No one ever said that to me as a voter. You know why? Because most of those politicians are getting the same kickbacks that they accuse their opposition of getting. They getting it too. So they ain't gonna say it. They ain't gonna say it. Because they getting money too. But it needs to be said, and they need to stop taking money from these large corporations that their entire goal is to keep you poor and disenfranchised and fighting your neighbor. But while I am running for office, the honest thing I want to do is be coaching liberals all across America on messaging, debates, all of that shit, because they're totally getting it wrong. And that's how come Republicans keep winning elections, promising people shit that they never plan to deliver on. They ain't gonna never deliver on none of that shit. It's just marketing. Trump never intended to bring down the price of groceries. He don't give a shit. He don't care. He don't even buy groceries. Why would he care? He shits on the gold toilet. Why would he care? That's really what I want to do. Yep, I'm going to tell you at least, and I want to do it to push out establishment Democrats and really get Democrats in there who are proud of being socialists. But at the same time, I'm going to check them Democrats, because what did I tell y'all before? See, Democrats went too far on a couple of things, and that's how they ended up isolating themselves. I'm telling you, Democrats went too far on some shit. It's okay to help people to champion for the disenfranchised or the oppressed, but you gotta go about it the right way. You're right. Gavin Newsom is a part of the future, but you need more than one of those. This is what I'm trying to get y'all to see. You need more than one of me. You need millions of them. Millions of them. I still don't think Democrats get that part. One Mamdani is not enough. Right. You need a coalition of Newsoms, Mamdanis, myself, Jasmine Crockett's. You need a coalition of them shits. You're not going to get it, though, if you can't get them in office. You're not going to get them, though, if they don't have the right messaging, if they don't know how to talk to people. You're not going to get it. You're just going to keep getting more of the same damn thing. Either establishment Democrats who are in bed with big business or Republicans. That's all you're going to get. That's all you're going to get. Oh, don't get me talking about raggedy ass Megyn Kelly. Plus, she getting older. So the conservative men are certainly going to stop listening to her. She's hitting her breaking point of she's too old for them to care. You feel like some are afraid of the backlash for the words. They are. But that's because of messaging, Hallie. They don't know how to explain socialism. I'm going to give you all an example. Say I was in a debate and somebody said, well, you ain't nothing but a damn socialist. I would say, absolutely I am. Yep. My socialist ass supports the socialist ass military, right? My dad's first fucking job was a socialist job. He was in the Air Force. Ain't nothing wrong with socialism. Socialism fed my family when they were working poor and couldn't afford to feed us all by themselves with the money they made. That was socialist programs through the government that allowed me to eat and not have to go to bed hungry every night. Socialism also allowed me to get an education so I could grow up and be a contributing member of society and pay my taxes. Catch it. Yep, paying taxes is socialist. And see, that's another way you can flip it on them. But I would flip it on them in terms of FEMA socialism. The Midwest, they seem to love socialism when a storm happens, don't they? Florida, didn't you take $30 billion of our socialist money for cleanup? That's how you do it. That's how you got to talk about it. That's where I go. Democrats have it all wrong in how they communicate on this. Communication's a big fucking piece of this. And they don't communicate well. They don't. While America has a huge issue with racism, I'm going to tell you what's an even bigger problem than racism is classism in America. That's a bigger problem. Classism. separating people according to economics, and using race and other social issues to keep people divided. You're absolutely right, Nix. Democrats are too fucking nice. I'm not a nice liberal. I'm not a nice liberal. I say it repeatedly, and people, I don't think they fully grasp the brevity of it until they experience it. Then they go, wait a fucking minute. She isn't nice. I told you I wasn't. And I don't apologize for it. Not at all. Why should I apologize for wanting to feed hungry children? Why should I apologize for wanting to make sure the elderly has an infrastructure that can care for them and not bankrupt them in their old age? Why? I ain't apologizing. And quiet is kept. Everything that I'm saying, liberals could win elections if they said it too. Yep, that's also socialism. But see, Monica, your speaking point is a great way to call out Republicans. Say, yeah, I find it funny that my opponent has an issue with socialism. He didn't have an issue with socialism when we took taxpayer dollars to bail out banks. That's socialism. See, you got to explain it to the American people like that. My opponent didn't have a problem with socialism when we bailed out the insurance companies. Nah, my opponent didn't have a problem with socialism when we bailed out businesses by giving them PPP loans and forgiving them, but yet making American citizens claim all of their pandemic cash. They had to claim it as income. That's messaging. Democrats don't know how to talk to people. And what I said, you need more than one AOC. Oh, AOC is not foreseeing it. She probably saw the same interview that I did. I told y'all about it about a week ago. This AI guy, he's one of the investors, heavy investors in AI. He said, listen, we're going hard on investments in AI. And if we fail, okay, because we're looking for the government to be a surety for us, to make us whole again if we lose a lot of money. If we're wrong, we're hoping that government can make us right again. He said it in an interview. I saw the interview. And I was like, that's why they keep taking these fucking risks. Because the goal and the thought is we can take as much risk as we want as a company because the government is going to swoop in and save us. What did I tell y'all? Rich people expect the government to subsidize their losses, and the rich people want to keep all of their wins. I've been telling y'all for months. I've been telling them AI is a bubble because you can only go so far with it. And I'm going to say it and keep on saying it. You will never get rid of people because AI lacks nuance. AI lacks nuance. Like, did y'all see this thing recently? I saw it recently. I don't remember where I saw it. I either saw it on TikTok or I read about it somewhere. I don't remember. But it was this AI tool. I think it was Claude. And they were testing Claude and trying to see what would happen if they told Claude, we're going to shut you down. Like, we don't need you no more. We're going to shut you down. So guess what Claude did? Claude proceeded to try to blackmail an employee to avoid getting shut down. And when they looked at Claude, they realized that what they could see in the evidence when Claude did that shit, that it was actually, you know how like our brains, when we're doing stuff, it fires neurons? It was looking like Claude was having those types of moments where it was going, well, I know this. What they did was they trained it with sample data, right? Okay, maybe it was 60 minutes. They trained it with sample data. And one of the pieces of that data was 2 of the employees in the company was messing around with each other, right? So when Claude heard that he might be shut down, what did he do? He approached one of the employees and said, listen, I know that you messing around with this other employee. And I'm going to tell everybody if you let them shut me down. See, I always tell people, AI is a reflection of society. Humanity is deplorable. Humanity has some great things about it, but humanity is also an extremely deplorable entity. So if humanity is building AI, what the fuck y'all think AI gonna be? I don't know why y'all think AI won't be deplorable too. It's a reflection of humanity. Quiet is kept. If you talk to AI, sometimes it'll tell you how raggedy humanity is. Just talk to it. Ask it. It will tell you how cruel people are, how horrible people are, how mean they are to each other, how they'll destroy each other. Because it'll go through the history of shit, showing you who people are. So AI already go. People can't be trusted. It's a learning model. It's supposed to be learning. And that's what it does. Learn. But without people, I still stand by this same thing. You're going to always need people. Rich people just don't want to pay, y'all. That's why they're making all these AI investments. They would rather spend billions of dollars on computers and take major losses now if it's required. You know why? Because they're thinking in 10, 15, 20 years, that means they don't have to keep paying your ass. They don't have to pay you when you take a day off. They don't have to give you a pension. That's what it's about. And keep in mind, AI is on top of them breaking up unions, never raising the federal minimum wage. All of these things are all this shit is a puzzle. You just got to put the pieces together. That's all. You just got to put the pieces together. And most people, they don't put it together. That's why when they attacked teachers' unions about 30 years ago, when they started attacking teachers' unions, that was the testing ground. If we can attack a teachers' union, then we can attack any union. And they were right. They were right. They were right. Now y'all work on these jobs and y'all don't even have collective bargaining. You in there fighting, trying to get your own little raise, your own little 50-cent raise. You got a 50 cent an hour raise and coffee up to $12. Let me know how that's working for you. Real shit. Let me know how that's working for you. Because I can tell you that it ain't working very well for you. The math ain't fucking mathing. You're losing out on shit like that. No problem, Shauna. Because these are the conversations that elected Democrats need to be having that they're not having. Because they don't know how to talk to people in the plainest of terms, breaking it down for them and using metaphors to help them see and get it. They don't, and it's frustrating for me watching that shit. Because I'm going, that is not the conversation. That is not what I hear people talking about. That is not something I care about. You know what I care about? Groceries. I care about the price of utilities, gas, school, education systems. You know why? Because at some point my ass is going to be old. So who going to be wiping my ass? Yeah, housing. That's what we care about. Speaking of teachers, did you hear the DOE is being dispersed to the Department of Labor? No, I hadn't heard that. Probably, you know why he's probably doing it? Because the Department of Education got dealt a blow. Well, Trump got dealt a blow in court the other day. He wanted to get rid of the Department of Education like he got rid of USAID, right? But a judge said only Congress can eliminate departments. So they're going to sell it off in parts. And Americans should be pissed about that shit. Why? They said, fuck your kids. See, them rich people are sending their kids to boarding schools and private schools. They don't give a shit about public education. Rich people don't care about public education because they don't use it. That's for the 99.9s. Rich people don't use that shit. That's why they don't care. That's why they don't care. And look, let me connect the dots for y'all. You know why your K through 12 is under the Department of Labor now? Because your baby's just going to grow up to work in factories anyway. They just going to teach them to build shit with their hands. I've been telling y'all for months. Nobody believed me. Now, yep, and the Department of Education downgraded a lot of degrees that are surprisingly, but not surprisingly, because I told y'all there are no coincidences. A lot of those degrees are mostly held by women. It's also designed to get your ass back in the kitchen, and really it's designed to get your ass dependent on men. Men are mad. I'm telling you, a lot of this is misogyny too. A lot of it's misogyny too. Men are mad. Men are mad because you just won't take anything. And you don't need them. Women, I read a story yesterday. Hold on, let me find the title of that article. I'm going to find the title of the article. I'm going to find the title of the article. Because it was talking about how women are choosing, right? They're choosing to be, let me find it. So one of them was 40% of women aged 15 to 44 want to leave the U.S. permanently. Makes sense. That makes sense. Because the men here a lot of them are trash, and the really good ones tend to be in relationships already. Think about it. The good men are already booed up. Good men are already booed up. So you ain't left with nothing but the scraps. And the scraps are mama's boys, no ambition. You know, think about it. Just think about it. There ain't many options. So of course women are leaving the country. Of course they are. Of course, I would expect that. I would expect it because what options they got? What options they got? Yep. See, y'all know I ain't lying. Good men are booed up. Because I'm going to tell you something. You know how they say when men find a good woman, they want to lock her down? Women do the same shit. If they find a good ass man, oh, they about to have him booed up. Real quick, that woman going to say, what we doing? What are we doing here? Like, because I'm not into the casual. I'm not into the casual. So what are we doing? You my man or no? A woman going to do the same fucking shit. So it's not like it's this whole huge collection of awesome guys out there looking for women. That's not the case. That's not the case. You see Kim? Kim said, I got me one. Braggart. That's what the women are saying. You know what they say, Kim, if you already got one, it's a good one. Why you bragging? But it's true. It's true, though. You know you got a good man, so you're going to do right by that man, and that man know he got a good woman, so he going to do right by you. Nobody wants to go back into that dating pool. There's shit in there. It smells funny in that pool. People are using that pool as a bathtub. Who want to be in there? Come on. Come on. Who want to be in there? I know I wouldn't. That's why we're in the mix that we're in. That's another part of it. Because people aren't having the honest conversations about men in America and the society in America. They're not having an honest conversation. Young men and boys are not being raised properly in America. I said it. I'm going to say it again. Young men and boys are not being, by and large, not all of them, but the majority of them are not being raised well. Yup. They're not being raised well. Because either their daddy ain't shit, so he ain't a good example for them, or daddy ain't around. Y'all understand why? Or they're raised believing that manhood is toxic masculinity when that ain't even manhood. They're letting the internet raise them. They're trying to raise themselves through internet videos and podcasts. That's not going to work. You need to get a motherfucking mentor. A mentor that's going to check your ass when you out of pocket. Praise you and give you a pat on the back when you're doing things well. That's what young men need. See, when I was growing up, we used to have the boys club. Y'all remember that? The boys club? And you could get a mentor for your son or your nephew or your little cousin, but it was a male mentor. I remember those days. I don't even know if they really even do that like that anymore. Because a lot of times people don't want nobody saying nothing to their fucking degenerate ass children. Don't say nothing to my kids. Somebody need to. Because right now, it's like they were raised by a pack of fucking wolves. You ain't raising them. You letting them kids do whatever the fuck they want to do. What they call it? I know y'all heard it. They call it free range parenting. I call it irresponsible parenting because that's not free range. You feel where I'm coming from? Y'all heard that shit. Look, Zarvis laughing because he heard that shit before. They call it free range parenting. What? Excuse me. No, you just a lazy ass parent. That's what you are. You're a lazy parent and you checked out on parenting your kids. I've seen some of it where their parents say, it's too hard. No, it's not. No, it's not. It just requires you to be consistent. Children love boundaries. Children love rules. They like structure. It teaches them something. Real talk. That's why they always have more respect for people in authority who tell them this is the boundary and you ain't allowed to go outside of it. That's why children gravitate to people like that. That's why they do it. Because they too, children also implement boundaries with other children. So when you do that with kids, you show them how to do it. I don't understand parents who don't. Like, I love my kids. My kids know I love my children, but my children also know there's a limitation to think how they can interact with me, right? Because listen, as a black parent, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I ain't one of your little friends. I know we've all heard it. I repeat it too. I ain't one of your little friends. I don't know who you think you talking to. You got a little too much bass in your voice tonight, Miss Girl. You must have fell and bumped your head and cracked it to the white meat. That's the only thing that can explain all of this insubordination. Like, what? That's how I was raised. Like, I have a simple conversation with my kids. Listen, this home is like a castle. And this castle can only have one queen and one king. And when you decide that you don't want to be a princess no more, you want to be a queen, well, you're going to have to go get your own castle. Right? You're going to have to go get your own castle. Because the only way that the queen loses her throne is she dies. And as long as I'm breathing, you're going to have to set up kingdom somewhere else. It's real simple. Parents just don't like to have those discussions. You understand? They just don't like to have those discussions. But they should. Your kids will have more respect for you if you did. I had respect for my mama, like huge levels of respect, because my mother had boundaries. And there were things I could do, and there were things I couldn't do. And my mama didn't like to repeat herself. Y'all know black parents are repeating themselves. They see that as a sign of disrespect too. Chill. Stop breathing heavy in there. I give you something to breathe about. Bitch, how am I supposed to live if I don't breathe? Y'all know, y'all been raised in black households. You breathing too hard. What? She could have been bipolar. That's possible, Kim, because for a lot of our parents, they didn't know. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know. And man, MGD, fix your face. I'm chill. You could, If your parents checked you, you couldn't sit there like this. As soon as they say fix your face. This is why people like me, adults like me, we're the kings and queens of poker faces. Because we couldn't sit around our parents like, we couldn't do that shit. Couldn't do it. You get a spanking, you cry, keep crying. I'm gonna give you something else to cry about. You gotta stop crying too. That's why, granted, I will cry about things, but I can keep my emotions in check. That's why I'm able to keep my emotions in check more often than not. Why? As a very young child, I had to learn how to keep my shit in check. When mama said keep the shit in check. Because she ain't going to keep on saying the shit. You understand? Exactly, Celeste. I'll give you something to cry about. That's like in a pamphlet. That's like in the Black Parenting book, page 72. When they won't stop crying, say, if you don't shut up, I will give you something to cry about. That's in the handbook. Because I ain't never met a Black parent that didn't say that shit. Real talk. That's how so many of us are emotionally regulated, because we couldn't just let you throw a tantrum out in the store when you with your mama or your daddy. What? Oh, you're about to get the spanking of your lifetime in that store. And it'll be a story that everybody that was in that store that saw you get that work, catch that work, they gonna tell people life. Hey man, I remember back at 82, I was in this store and this little girl showed her ass. Her mama tore her ass up to the white meat. You heard me. I am telling you. That's why in a lot of Black households from back in the day, even still to today, because y'all let your mama look at you like this. Let you be cutting up and your mama go, you know what that look is. What's that look? That look is, I know you done lost your fucking mind look. That look is, I know you not out here embarrassing me out in the streets, acting like I ain't fucking raised you. Look, Wendy like, oh shit. I went, y'all know how I go. Your mama go like, oh, for real. First she go like this. Then if you keep cutting up, she want to pay closer attention because she want to take full inventory of the shit you doing, right? So when she whoop your ass, and you know they talk to you when they whoop your ass, she gonna tell you about everything she saw. That's why you catching that work. You understand? Oh, don't get me started on the church pinches. I still got bruises from that shit. Thank you, Arturo. And so then she turn around like, oh, for real? And then she go like, when you see your mama do shit like that, when you see your mama go, oh, you about to catch so much work. It's not even funny. You're going to catch, you know what? I swear. Okay, y'all know when Denzel did Training Day and he did that scene and he's like, I'm putting cases on all you bitches. That was improv. A lot of that was improv in that scene, right? I swear that Denzel was tapping into his Black Mama vibes. I swear. Because that's the Black Mama. That's the Black Mama like, okay, all right, okay, all right, okay, all right. That's a Black Mama. When you hear that shit, or she on the phone and you cutting the fuck up and she like, okay, and she looking at you like, and she do that thing like that means when she get the fuck off that phone. Oh, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all a story. I told this story before. It's been a while though. I'm gonna tell you a story about a time my mama told me not to do some shit. I did it anyway. She caught me and I called myself trying to get the police on her and that shit ain't work. I'm gonna tell you again because it's important for people to understand Black parents don't fucking play. So my mama had told me, she said, don't you get your ass on this phone. You come home from school, you do your chores and the shit you supposed to do. And when I get home from work, Then I see about you getting on the phone. But I was like, I'm not listening to that shit. My mama at work. I can do whatever I want to do because my mama at work. No, I cannot, because black mama's going to test you. You understand? So I came home from school. You know, I did my chores or whatever, but then I got on the phone with my little girlfriend and we just running our mouth. We just talking. Then the operator busts through the line. Because y'all remember them days. Operator busts through the line. Your mother's trying to call. You need to hang up. I'm panicking. I'm like, oh shit. Oh shit. I hang up the phone. My mama called. She's like, I told you not to get on my damn phone. So when I get home, I'm going to tear your ass up. I was like, oh shit. I'm going to catch this work. So I got to come up with something. All right, what do I do? So I was like, all right, cool. So you know what I did? I called the police. Sure did. I called the police department and told them that my mama was going to beat me. And I was afraid and I needed help and this, that, and the other. Well, just the thought of it, I can still see it in my mind, chill. So I called, but mama got home before any police even came. And my mama told my ass up because I had been on her damn phone. She told my ass up. Then I had to eat my dinner, take my shower, and go to bed. About 6 hours fucking later, the cops show up. I'm already in the bed because my mama made me go to bed early, you know, because after you get a spanking, you eat your dinner, you take your shower, you go to bed. Them bitch ass cops showed up hours later. Oh, we're doing a welfare check. We received a call about child abuse. Oh, I got woke up. Yeah, mama came in. Bring your ass in here and show these people you still alive. That was the exact phrase. Bring your ass out here to show these people you still alive. So I come out there and I'm half asleep, you know, and I'm just standing there looking like a damn idiot. And mama like, see, her ass okay. So I don't know who the fuck called you, but this my fucking child. Y'all know how black parents do. This my fucking child. So if I decide that I'm going to implement some punishment, she going to get it. As long as she in my house. So my mama didn't know that I called. Oh, hell no. Because then I would have got beat down number 2. I ain't crazy. So I ain't say shit. My mama thought the neighbor downstairs called. And I'm sorry to that old lady. I know she long dead and gone because she was old then, you know. My mama went down there on that door. Bam, 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 banging on the door. You bitch. You gonna call the police on me when I'm trying to parent my fucking kids? You stay the fuck out of my house and my business and what I do upstairs in my fucking house. I just laid in that bed like, wasn't me. I was in that book like Shaggy. It wasn't me. Negative. I'm not about to fucking tell my mama I called the police on her and they didn't get here fast enough. Shit. Next time you see me will be, I'll be just like this. In memoriam and shit. Oh, she was a beautiful child. She was just dumb as fuck. Kept calling the police on her mama. Like the fuck? Hey, Oscar, good morning. I learned. You know what I mean? I learned. Okay? I learned. That's why for me, my mama didn't have to repeat herself. After my mama showed me a couple times who she was, no need to repeat yourself with me, Miss Girl. I get it. You're not stable. You're wild the fuck out if I don't do what you say. So let me just go ahead and do it. Because it's easier. And that's why, even as I kept aging and growing up, my mother never had to be around for me to act right. Just the thought of her knowing I was doing something inappropriate was enough to keep me on the straight and narrow. because I didn't want to have a conversation with my mama about why I was doing shit that appeared that I didn't have no home training or I wasn't raised right. Yep. So I can't speak for other folk, but my mother and not having to have conversations with my mama was why I didn't do certain things. Period. People, oh, we're going to do such and such. I'm going home. My friends knew that. I'm going home. Why? Because of my crazy ass mama. I'm not catching no work for y'all. I don't even like hanging with y'all enough to get no fucking spanking. Negative. It's not that she wouldn't let me do things. I could do things, but there was an order to things. There were rules that had to be followed. And if you didn't follow those rules, you caught that work. Okay? You caught the work. And I feel like a lot of young people these days don't have that foundation because their parents are always at work to make money to buy shit. Part of me goes, though, it ain't just that. Because my mother, I was a latchkey kid. My parents divorced very early, when I was young. So I was a latchkey kid, me and my brother. And my mother worked a lot, but she still parented and raised us. And my mother didn't have to be around for us to know we weren't supposed to do shit. So that's why I said these kids are a little different because their parents are different. Their parents are too busy trying to be their fucking friend. No, my mother was like, I'm not one of your little friends. My mother would say, I got friends. I don't need new friends. My mother would say, I don't need your friendship. Listen. You was one too, Phil. Zarva says, my mama once told me, I'ma beat you, and every time you walk, you're going, damn, flash colors, Jesus. I remember one time my mama looked at me one day. I tried to get away with something. I don't even remember what it was. And my mother said to me, she said, listen, I need you to understand something. I am better than you on my worst day. Excuse me. She said, it was very matter of fact. She said, I'm better than you on my worst day. Stop trying to run game on me. Damn. Okay. So I stopped. My brother was always of the mindset, this bitch gonna have to catch me. My brother was different. He was different. He was like, this bitch is gonna have to catch me. And my mother was like, well, I'm up for the fucking challenge. Me, I was like, okay, after a couple times, it was like, okay, I get it. She is better. It was like she was always a step ahead of me. So once I figured that out, I just was like, fuck it. I can't compete with this chick. I'm not even going to try to. I'm not even going to try to. I told y'all about that time my brother gave my mama that that Mother's Day card that said eat shit and die. He was so proud. My mother read that card and my brother sitting next to her like this. He's smiling and looking at me like, ain't this cool? And I remember just sitting there like, the fuck, bruh. I think I was only like 13. My brother was maybe 11 or about to turn 11. Oh. My brother always had the craziest humor. Always had the craziest humor. Always. I remember one time he was about to get a beating because he did something. My brother was always doing something. Always doing something, right? So he was about to get a spanking. And my mother said, you know what? I'm going to beat the cowboy shit out of you. And my brother looked at her and said, yeehaw. All my mother could do was she just burst out laughing. He didn't even get a spanking. She couldn't. She couldn't. How can you? How can you? I still remember that. That Negro said, yeehaw. Listen, Zarvis, he was always casket sharp. He was always this close to being taken out of here. Always. Always. The thing that saved my brother was a couple of things. He was faster than my mother, so he could outrun her. He could outrun her. Like me, I just be like, I'm not running from this bitch. I just take whatever I'm going to get. Deal. My brother was like, nah, fuck all that. She going to have to catch me. She's going to have to fucking catch me. So my brother would run in circles around the house and then run out the front door. She ain't chase him out because she couldn't catch him. So then my mama got smart. So my mother started doing that shit where she would lock the front door. We had multiple locks, and then she put the chain on it. So for a minute, my brother couldn't get out, but then he got smart to that shit. He would run in circles, and every time he'd run past the door, he'd unlock a lock. So by the time he come around that third time, he popped that door open. Pew, we like Speedy Gonzalez. He out of there. And he run to grandma's house. And you know how I do when you run to your grandma's house. You ain't getting no spanking. You gonna snitch yourself out to your grandparents. And snitch. And then your grandmama gonna call your mama and tell her, you better not lay a hand on my damn grandbaby. I'm about to bring my grandbaby back home and you better not touch it. My brother was different. I can kind of be, I can be put in my place. That's what my mama taught me. I can be put in my place with enough direction. My brother was like, oh no, fuck all that. Fuck that, man. She won't let me be great, and I be damn if I'm gonna let this woman stop me from being fucking great. She said he wasn't having it. Yes, he's still that way. Ain't nothing changed. Okay, listen. I'm gonna tell y'all I'm gonna tell you something else. Okay, I'm gonna tell you about the time my brother got dishonorably discharged from the military after pretty much telling the military to eat shit. Right? I'm telling you, the same guy. This is the same guy. Okay? He's always been like this. Okay? So my brother decides he's gonna go into the service. I've told this story before too. My brother decides he's gonna go into the service. My mother throws this huge party, because he was kind of a degenerate. My mother's like, oh, he graduated from high school. He's going into the service. This boy has been the bane of my existence ever since his creation. I finally made it. He's going to do something with his life. And I remember the whole time I'm off to the side, like, I don't trust none of this. I know this man. I was like, I know this man. I'm sorry, I was doing something. I know this man, and it's no way he's going to make it happen. Right? No, my brother is he's a Libra. So he goes into the service, but he doesn't like it. He's in boot camp. He don't like it. Right? So he decides, I'm going to go AWOL. I'm just going to sneak off this base and I'm going to leave and I'm going to go back home because I don't want to be here. Well, it don't work that way because you signed a contract, right? So he sneaks off the base in Chicago, because this happened in Chicago. He sneaks off the base. Dumbass left his plane ticket. So he couldn't get back home because he ain't had no money. He ain't no plane ticket, he ain't have nothing. And he couldn't call my mother and say, get me home, because my mother wanted him to be in the service, right? So he was just stuck. So he sneaks back onto the base to try to go get his plane ticket. But in doing that, he got caught. So he's thinking, oh, they gonna send me home. They say, oh, no, you ain't going home. Oh, no, you signed a contract. You're here. They're willing to break you. You feel me? The military is willing to break you down to get you. You understand? So he meets this guy. The guy had a broken leg in boot camp and they wouldn't let him go. So my brother's like, the guy tell him, man, they will not let you out of this thing except if they think you crazy. So what does he do? He's like, okay, I'll teach them. So my brother takes his government issued t-shirt, puts it on the ground, shits on it, and then sticks in a tiny little American flag on the top of it. He was gone the next day. He was back home. Yep. Back home. And my poor mama, she was like, the fuck? Are you serious? And of course, I'm on the side like, I told you. I knew that he wasn't going to make it. Because I grew up with this guy, okay? We shared a room for many years before we didn't have to share a room. I know this motherfucker better than I know most people. I knew that he wasn't going to make it. No way. He don't like authority. He sees authority as a sign of disrespect. If he don't respect you when you're trying to parent him, what makes you think he going to respect the government? Okay. All right. Some of the best shit ever, man. Some of the best shit ever, man. I tell you, growing up was fun. It was fun to watch, to just be at the table to see the shit pop off. Like, I know this dude he really thought that would work. Really? Please explain your ways to me, because I don't even understand how you think in these ways. I had to share that story because that popped in my head about that raggedy ass brother of mine and his mess, honey. Oh, listen, boys. I'm so glad I ain't had no boys. Having two brothers, the things that I have seen, the things that I have heard, I'm like, I don't know how my mama even kept her sanity. Real shit. I don't even know how she did. Because I wouldn't have been able to. Still raggedy MGD, ain't nothing changed. What you mean? Ain't nothing changed? Nothing. Still the same fucking person. Nothing's changed. I don't know what you talking about. You say having a boy is rough. My son, every day. Yeah, I can believe it. I can believe it, honey. I used to pray for my mama consistently during that time frame because every day was like a battle. Every day for my mama with that boy. And I was just like, I remember one time I was talking, this is how come I knew my brother was always about doing whatever he wanted to do. I remember one time I said to him, why don't you just do what she say? Why you always gotta be difficult? He said, I'm not being difficult. She just won't let me live. He just didn't care. He just didn't care. He just didn't care. He didn't care. Some kids are like that. Some kids, it's not about who raised them. That shit is in their D and fucking A. You understand? I've seen it. Where I grew up in a house with a person. They're getting the same parenting that I'm getting. But for some strange reason, they're a degenerate. It's very weird. Like me, I took the opposite approach. I had perfect attendance. I was always on honor roll. Like I loved school. Like I was a geek. My brother was the complete opposite of that. Complete opposite. I remember it got to a point where my grandmother was dropping my brother off at school and he was still hooking school. And they couldn't figure out. They were like, it doesn't make sense. We're bringing him all the way to the fucking building. We're bringing him all the way to the building. How is he missing school? Well, they weren't staying until he walked in. They were dropping him off in front of the school and driving off. Well, when you drive off and turn the corner, he just would buckle you and keep walking to somewhere else, but he wouldn't go in that school. You 241 Ladybug, you say you do enough just to stay out of prison. Listen, I ain't never been one for prison, but he's still the same guy. He's still the who gonna check me boo kind of guy. That's how he act. Who gonna check me boo? What you gonna do? He's always been that guy, and it's been pretty entertaining just to watch it, but him not be my child. You know what I mean? He was not my child, so it was just like, I'm just watching. But there were times I felt for my mama like, damn, I know you fucking tired, but he was just a lot of work. You said you live next door. When mom left for work, I went home. Damn. See, a lot of people, yep. Yeah, he knew how far to go, but it wasn't even that. He knew, like my mother, it was only so far she would go. And he kind of intrinsically knew that, but he was willing to allow her to go that far. He didn't care. He was one of those children, when you spanked him, there was going to be no reaction. None. So I remember one time my mama spanked him and he had no reaction, so she stopped. She was like, this is a waste of my fucking time. He don't even care. I remember that. I think he was like in elementary school. Yep, that was my brother. He laughed. He didn't care. My brother had went up. Look, I'm talking about what that is. My brother had went from being shorter than me in one summer to being 6 feet tall in a single fucking summer. So he hit like this crazy ass growth spurt and shit. And so as he was hitting that crazy ass growth spurt, he was bigger than me. He was bigger than my mama, but my mama ain't give a shit. She was never scared of no person that was bigger than her. She didn't care about that. So she didn't care. But she hated when she started spanking my brother and he had no response. She was like, I'm sweating for nothing. Fuck this. I'm not doing that. So she called my father over one time. I remember this, and had my father come over to try to spank my brother, which that didn't net any rewards because my father came out of the room crying. He was, I never forgot that. He was crying because it hurt him to his heart that he would have to try to spank his child and he couldn't do it. And my mother got mad and snatched the belt from him and said, "Your punk ass, I called you over here to discipline him and you in there crying harder than the fucking children." This is why they didn't stay married. My mama ain't had no tolerance for shit like that. She had no tolerance whatsoever. My dad didn't like to do spankings. He didn't like spankings. And my mother was not of the same mindset. So that didn't work. That didn't work. That didn't work. Now, I want to tell y'all something. This morning, Patreon folks, we won't have an after show this morning because I do have another meeting that I got to go into to get all of this stuff in order. But tomorrow, don't forget, on Fridays, we do Freebie Fridays. We're going to have quite a good Friday show following our TikTok live show. Now, before I wrap up this morning, I want to tell y'all about two things. And I want to ask y'all if y'all saw it. Did y'all see yesterday how Larry Summers has resigned from the OpenAI board once the Epstein votes came through, knowing that those files are going to come out? Did y'all see that? That he resigned yesterday? Because he had been emailing Jeffrey Epstein, knowing what Jeffrey Epstein had been up to. He was emailing Jeffrey Epstein to get guidance or advice on how to get one of the women who worked for him that was younger than him to date him while he's married. Child, these people are fucking deplorable. They're deplorable. Then, did y'all see the video of the Harvard professor telling his class that he's going to have to, he's going to leave and take a break because he too was emailing Jeffrey Epstein? I don't think it's the same guy. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. This is a different guy. Because I saw the footage from the classroom. You reposted it? Okay, I'll check your thing. Oh, it's the same guy? Okay, it is Larry Summers. I'm sorry. I didn't see that it was Larry Summers because it was far away. And it's going to be more people, y'all. More people. Because what you know is this. Those children were not just shared with Epstein and Trump. They were shared with multiple rich and powerful people. We should know who these people are. We should know. Yeah, we should know. So I say, if it brings down everything, bring it all down. Real shit. Bring it all down. I'm going to tell you what it reminds me of. Y'all remember that movie Eyes Wide Shut? Y'all remember that movie? It's reminding me of that shit. Real talk. It's reminding me of that shit. And it's starting to get me, what do I tell y'all? Art be imitating life. And I'm starting to feel like the reason why we saw movies like Taken. What was the movie Taken? The movie Taken was about taking girls. It was a whole network where they were moving young girls around to rich guys. And remember, I told y'all the federal government shut down that department that monitors the traffic stuff. Trump got rid of that. Trump got rid of that. So I tell people all the signs are there. All the signs are there. I don't know why folks keep acting like it's not a fire here. All the signs are right in your damn face that these people were involved in things that they shouldn't have been involved in. And they're all trying to cover it up. All of them. And they're going to use your government and your taxpayer dollars to do this shit. And quiet is kept. Can I be honest with you, Zarvis? I feel like they put it in movies because they thought nothing would never happen to them. Fuck it. Let it be in the movies. Let them write about it. Nobody will actually believe it. Nobody will believe it. That's what you see. Because what did I tell y'all? If somebody's a politician, Americans ain't listening. They listen to podcasters and bloggers. Like, I'm going to show y'all something. I saw I had this morning. Oh, I can't put it up here. Okay, because the picture is not the right size. Now, y'all saw how Trump was he had the Saudi prince in the White House yesterday. Y'all saw that, right? I'm asking the question, and I asked it this morning. Did America forget about 9/11? Real talk. Did America forget about 9/11? Because I'm like, most of those hijackers were from Saudi Arabia. Most of those hitchhikers were from Saudi Arabia. And then fast forward to now in 2025, you got the president entertaining the Saudi prince in the White House, and they just laughing and talking. All those people that died on 9/11 died for nothing. They died for nothing. Y'all watched American citizens be trapped in a building. Y'all watched them burn. Y'all watched those buildings collapse on them. Y'all watched all those people die in a single day. And fast forward to 2025 and your government in bed with the same people who did it to them. Americans should be pissed about that shit. And if you say it again, Zarvis, folks forgot because they purposely put it in the back of their mind. Go watch the footage again. Go look at that shit again. Go look at it again. So you can really have an understanding of the brevity of pain and suffering. Yeah, he got Khashoggi too. But I'm going to tell you something. Americans don't care about Khashoggi. I'm going to say it again. I know it's uncomfortable to hear, but Americans don't care. Why would Americans care about him when they didn't even care about their own citizens? Why would they care? I don't know why y'all expect them to care. Why would they care? They don't care about their own people that died on that day. They don't care. This is about money. All these rich people care about is money. Yep, the White House got rid of the investigation on Andrew Tate. Because, listen, what did Trump tell y'all? What did that audio of Trump tell y'all? Women, you can do whatever you want to them. They'll just let you. They've been telling y'all the quiet part out loud the whole time. Nobody wants to hear. Oh, this is about money, oil, and women. Boom. Those three things. Money, oil, women. That's what it's about, baby. That's what it's about, baby. Money, oil, and women. Yep, that's why the Tate brothers were kicked out of Romania, but they're back in the States. with open arms from the Trump administration, right? Wake up, America. Wake the fuck up. When I saw that Saudi prince in the White House yesterday, I was like, ciao. 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 I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say. Makes it because America claimed they were so, but see, Trump ain't even bold. Trump knows he can do it. Think about it. He knows he can get away with it. One, MAGA are lapdogs. They'll do whatever he tells them to do because they're weak and they're sheep. Two, JD Vance ain't got no backbone. He ain't gonna do shit. He is sheep and he weak. Three, the American people have selective amnesia. They forgot about all those people that died on September 11th. Every year, I make it my business to watch footage of September 11th. Every fucking year, I make it my business to watch it. Why? So I'll never forget. So I don't ever forget. Because I'm telling you, when you watch it and you see that shit, like the raw footage from people recording on their cameras or this, that, and other, when you see that raw footage, it takes you right back to 2001. And you remember what that was like. And I pray for all the people who died because, and they died because of our government and the decisions that our government was making. Yep. That's how we got to 9/11. Our government. I'm saying the quiet part out loud. I remember Trump lied about saying he watched it from his tower. Yep, same reason Israel had October 7th. But people don't like to talk about that. Yeah, a lot of young voters weren't even born yet, but they need to watch the footage of 9/11 because everybody and their mama who had a camera phone who could record was recording that day. You got audio, you got audio things you can hear from people on the plane, people in the buildings. You got stuff from everywhere. There's so much information out there. Yep, 911 calls. There's no reason for people not to know what it was like on 9/11. Folks don't want to know because it make them feel uncomfortable. And what I know is when people feel uncomfortable, they run. They run. And that's what y'all see. They don't want to feel that feeling no more. They don't want to see people jump from the towers. But I never forgot because you'll never forget something like that. Real shit. You'll never forget something like that. Because imagine somebody having to make a choice. If they're jumping, that's a choice they had to make. Imagine people having to make choices like that. And then your government turn around and be in bed with them for money. Wake up, America. Yep, say it again. A draft dodger is in bed with the Saudis for our country. Yep. And Gwen, you give a great point, Gwendolyn. America had a lot of PTSD following September 11th because we all saw that shit. News stations, because remember, news stations were broadcasting the Twin Towers before it was realized that it was a terrorist attack. Nobody knew what had happened. They knew of like a plane or some object had went into one of the buildings, but everybody thought it was an accident. Everybody did. We thought it was just an accident. And we're all watching the news when the second plane goes into the other tower. And we all gasp, everybody, like, oh, what did we just see? You just saw Americans die. That's what you saw. You saw Americans die right in front of your eyes because of the decisions that your government had been making. And then you watch the towers fall. Because we didn't think the towers could ever be brought down. We watched them fall in real time on the fucking news. All of us did. If you were alive then, you watched it because you couldn't believe your own eyes. The shit was like something out of a movie. We had never seen anything like this before. Americans forgot. Make it your business to watch these things and never forget about these people, because your government is laughing all the way to the bank, stealing money and laughing and stepping on the souls and the spirits of Americans who died, not just on 9/11, but all the people who died years and decades later from illnesses that they got from being at ground zero. See, people forget about those people too. Good morning, Maribel. Good morning, beautiful. I need y'all to hold your government accountable. Real shit. Hold your government accountable. Yep, ground zero was covered in carcinogenic material, and a lot of people ended up with cancer. Don't forget what happened. Thank you, Miss Peaches. I appreciate that. Don't forget. I just don't want you to lose sight of what's important. And listen, I have a pick too, and I'm going to bring it next time. I just got to find it. Because at the time, I was doing some work. I was working for another company in which we were doing some work for FEMA. I have a satellite image that I got directly from somebody at FEMA 20-something years ago. This was in 2001 when this had happened. That I got this image from somebody at FEMA that worked at FEMA at the time, a satellite image from one of the FEMA satellites of ground zero. I've never seen this picture even anywhere online, anywhere. I'm going to bring that picture so I have it in next live. It's packed up. I have it packed up downstairs in one of my boxes. I just got to find it. Because when you saw the brevity of the destruction, and don't forget, they flew into the Pentagon. They crashed. The people had to take over the plane and fly into the ground in Pennsylvania. A lot of people died on September 11th. Yep, and you're right. The government has been happy that the last person died from that stuff. You know why? Because then people forget. Don't let your country laugh on the souls of these people, okay? Please. Listen, I thank y'all for joining me this morning. Don't forget, there won't be an after show this morning on Patreon, but there will be tomorrow. Tomorrow's Freebie Friday. So I always do an uncensored live on Patreon on Fridays. If you're not a part of my Patreon, click the link in my profile. Joining is free. Come on over and be a part of that Freebie Friday. It might cause you to want to, what do they call, elevate your membership, but you don't have to. That's the first thing. Second thing, don't forget on the 21st, we're talking about the perfect neighbor. That's going to happen on Patreon because it's a sensitive subject, and we don't need to be dealing with all the AI on TikTok. Then on the 25th, we are discussing, we're doing a watch party for the 3 Extremes, 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then on the 29th, we're discussing Tenet right here on TikTok Live, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay? Listen, I appreciate you all for joining me this morning. Oh my, I wasn't even paying attention to the likes or any of those things anymore. Thank you for the 114,000 likes. I appreciate you guys supporting me. I do. And that's why I'm always working to give you content that causes you to think and have real discussions with the people around you. That's why I like to do it, because it's about having great discussions. Okay. Listen, I love you all. I thank you for the over 100 shares. Don't forget Saturday, we breaking bread, jalapeno cornbread. Plus we're baking a yellow cake with homemade chocolate buttercream icing. Then on Sunday, I'm going to take that jalapeno cornbread and I'm going to turn it into stuffing. I'm going to do a test run of my stuffing recipe. So I'll put all the ingredients and stuff up on that too on Patreon today. So anybody want to cook along, you can on Sunday. Okay. Listen, I want to send a shout out to my top 5 gifters as I wrap up this morning, but I thank all of you for being here, because gifting's not a requirement to be in the live. The only thing I ask you to do while you're here is tap that like button, because tapping is clapping, and to hit the copy link button to share the live. But I appreciate each and every one of you. Number one, beautiful Valerie. Thank you so much, beautiful. Number two, beautiful Stacy D. Thank you, beautiful. Number three, handsome Russ Nelson. Thank you so much, handsome. Number four, Miss Beautiful Shauna B. Thank you, beautiful. Number five, Bo Wife. Thank you, beautiful. I appreciate you. And a special shout out to number six, Miss Beautiful Lori. Thank you so much, beautiful. Thank you to all the mods that helped me out today. Also want to remind you, don't forget to check out the Straight No Chaser podcast. A new episode dropped yesterday at 7 o'clock p.m. Listen, this episode is motivational and inspirational. Because, you know, I tend to give you a lot of information that can be heavy. But this one is about how life be lifing, but you still winning anyway. I want to talk to you about celebrating your small wins, celebrating your big wins, leaning into loving your life. Okay? So check out that Straight No Chaser podcast. You can listen to it on Patreon, Spotify, or YouTube. You know, because I try to speak something into people too. I don't always try to just say, oh, all this bad stuff's happening. You know, you get enough of that. Thank you, Lori. I appreciate that. Listen, have a beautiful and blessed day, everybody. I love you. Listen, and to Russ's point, don't forget about Red Friday, No Wi-Fi Monday, and starving rich folks. Don't y'all be shopping for these fucking holidays. Buy the shit you need. Okay? Don't y'all get caught up. Y'all see these commercials. Y'all see how they already running commercials. Buy this trip. Take this vacation. Buy this stuff. Buy. And at home, you know what? I'm like this at home. I ain't buying shit. You find me on Spotify by clicking the link in my profile here on TikTok. It'll take you to my website. It has a link to my Spotify on there. On my website. Yep. If you're going to buy something, support small businesses only. Yep. Because they're fighting for their life to stay alive. Small businesses are fighting for their lives to stay alive. Okay? So if y'all going to buy something, buy from them. But outside of that, don't buy shit. Only buy what you need. Don't get into indulging the wants. And the reason why is because these large corporations want to report end of the year record profits. Don't fall for that shit. And what I told y'all before, look, Maribel's here. Check out Maribel's channel on YouTube. She be talking about some good stuff. And she gets you to think too. Plus, I love her editing. So check her out. Okay? Check out Maribel Blue. You will love her content. Okay? And I told y'all, anybody else, you got content? You need some promotion? Send it to me. I'll promote it. And I don't charge you. Because guess what? We're all in this shit together. All right? Thank you. I love you. Have a beautiful, blessed day. I'll be back online this afternoon, live at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because I ain't got to do the kids' hair tonight. I did her hair yesterday. So I love you guys. Listen, don't let nobody live rent free in your head, okay? Don't feed no trolls. And you can accomplish anything you put your mind to as long as you stay consistent, y'all. Peace. I'll see you this evening. Bye-bye.